Living for the night, playing for the soul. I'm Ruben with Daylight Productions and Daylight Vampires, and this is Interview with a Vampire. Tonight, we have the honor of being with the band Summerled. They just released their most recent single, actually called 1999. A very interesting story is that the single happened to be released on April 10th, and it's called 1999, which happens to be the day that my son was born.
Wow.
So I thought that to be quite interesting. It was actually my daughter, Alex, who found that out. She said, Zach was born that day. She goes, this is really cool the way it came out. So, and I pass it off to everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off a little bit. We're going to have everybody introduce themselves and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Great. So I'm Patrick. I sing and play guitar in Summerled.
I'm Adam. I'm the bassist of Summerled.
I'm John. I play drums.
My name is Jesse, and I play lead guitar.
Now, how long have you guys been together playing?
So John and I have been playing together for like 10 years, almost, maybe more. Yeah.
Probably more.
Yeah, more now. Yeah, for sure. Because even before we started putting out music, we were playing music together. We were a 3-piece back then. And then for a long time, we were 2 people. So that was definitely... So, and then as the 4 of us came together, it's just this for like almost a year now. The 4 of us.
Yeah, it's been about a year. I don't
Summerled.
know the date.
Yeah.
It's close to a year.
Here's the interesting question. Where does the name come from?
Oh, comes from the street name. Because we lived, I lived on the corner of Grand and Summerled, where we would practice in my parents' garage. And so the name just came to us. Also, it was a name we could all agree on at the time, which is sometimes worth more than the name itself.
Yeah,
but
when you're pitching so many ideas, when you're like a few guys in a garage playing music, and then you start throwing out ideas, and everybody's like, "Nah, not that one. Oh, I like that one. Ah, not that one." It always sometimes you gotta grab the one that everybody latches onto.
I think that's a great thing because it's kind of interesting. I have a great niece right now, and her name is Charlotte. And the reason why her name is Charlotte is that her parents, the first street they lived on was Charlotte. So it sounds like it's a thing to do. Instead of actually going and making things difficult, you find the easy way to do it. And I think it's a great name because really it meets with, I find, the type of music, that pop punk and that really the alternative sound that you really bring in. Because when you think of it, it really lends to the whole notion of the way that the music puts together, which I really enjoy. I spent a lot of time recently actually listening to the other songs, TGIF. I've been following a little bit of the music back and forth. I was supposed to attend the event that you actually, when you did the original launch, I think it was at Piranha Bar.
that's right. Yeah.
You had something, you were at Piranha Bar. I was supposed to attend, but I couldn't. But of course, I kept listening to the music, and I really enjoyed the direction that you've taken, which I really enjoy. Now, whose idea was that?
Oh, it was me and John did the album or the EP. Well, the few songs that are, that we did 4 of them. And so these songs we did before these guys joined.
Yeah. And it's been several years that we've been kind of embracing like a bit of a poppier sound and adding more synthesizers. You can definitely tell like over the course of our songs, there's just more synths, there's more extra sounds, there's more production, and our sound has just gotten poppier over time, and that's really been just a product of the music that we listen to.
Seems like that's where that started. Like, in my opinion, like coming into it, right? It seems that's where it was like, okay, wait, let's try and like throw this in, and let's try and
And that was the first song we did as a 2-piece. And so then since then we were like exactly what John said, trying to make something sound a bit more higher production and a bit more overall full sound, like not scared to add different things and make it kind of dive into that pop or that pop punk sound, that modern sound, right?
Well, I find there's a huge resurgence in general of that, especially the punk sound. You hear it a lot now. You hear the different ways that things happen right now. The incredible thing about it is that, and we were talking before when we ended up getting here, you're looking at bands like Engine de Poitrine. These guys came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they have this hook. And really, it's a hook that has been there many years ago, but they brought it back. It's something which is unique. It's that different sound, but at the same point in time, everyone's looking towards that sound again. And I find punk itself has come back. People like the raw energy. People want to hear the guitars, they want to hear the drums, they want to hear the bass, they want to hear the singer really feel the music. Where I found for a while there, what was happening is it lost its soul music. It was too much of you press a button and that's what's happening.
Right.
Where we're back to playing instruments, we're back to playing music, and I find that's what you've achieved over here. You know, when I listen to the music and I compare it to like Sum 41 and a Blink 182, right. You know, and even the Green Day, these bands are still around.
Oh.
And there's a reason it's called staying power. And you guys are picking up where those guys have continued and drawing, you know, that area, and especially when it comes to radio play. Because these are the things that people want to hear. They want to feel happy. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel like, wow, this is just a lot of good melody that I can hum along and really sing with. And I find you've done an incredible job with working along that. Now, when it comes to bands, as you mentioned, the two of you were together. What about the two of you guys? Were you in other bands before that?
I was in a lot of metal projects, actually, and you know, very technical metal, progressive metal, stuff like that. And I used to really enjoy my time off, where I'd be with my friends and playing a lot of pop punk, playing a lot of pop songs, even like Michael Jackson songs and things like that. And it had never really occurred to me that I could do that with an actual band. And so I actually met John because my friend brought me up on stage while you were playing to do shipping up to Boston. Yeah. and then we got introduced to each other, and I fell in love with the music, and I was like, this is the kind of music that I play with my friends when I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Why would I not join a band that I get to have that feeling all the time? And they tore off my face paint and my black robes and cut off my 7th string, and here we are.
For me, I was in a high school band forever. We were there, and then after we graduated, I was a retired bedroom guitarist for about 8 years. And a prior year, maybe 2 years before, John and I had gotten together to try and just do a couple covers. And come last year, John's like, hey, we're looking to expand. Do you want to try and join Summerled? And I was like, this sounds great. Like, I used to play a lot of pop punk in high school. I used to play Red Hot Chili Peppers, all this kind of stuff. And I just said, like, let's do it. This sounds great. Like, I checked out the songs and I was hooked. I was in.
Yeah, I think it's like really lucky to find two guys who love music as much as we do, but also want to play, just fun pop punk music, which for a long time was kind of a challenge.
Yeah, we've found a lot of, we've gone through a number of bass players who were very good, but they would come to the band and they'd be like, oh, the songs are fun. I don't really play pop punk. And we're like, okay, but we want somebody not just who can do it, but who wants to do it and who wants to be there. So it's really nice to have people who want to be here and want to be playing pop punk music.
I think the greatest thing as well is not just first of all, thanks a lot, you guys, for, learning a little bit more about where, you come from, where you're starting as well, and where you're going is great. One thing I find, though, as you mentioned, the important thing is always that you have fun. I always say, rock and roll in general, it has to be fun. When people say that, they're going to retire, they're going to stop playing or whatever it might be, right? You kind of say it's a lifestyle. It's not really just something that you say, I'm going to end up stopping. It's a lifestyle that you have in your heart. It's a lifestyle that you've grown with. And you really move that way. And when you have a good time and you enjoy yourself, it makes for a special time. And you can really see that with the pictures that you guys take. With the Krispy Kreme donut hats, with the, with the orange julep. It's fun. Everything is really a lot of fun. And I think that's what really makes the difference, is that it's not just what you sing about, but it's also how you react and how you act outside and how you perceive yourselves. I follow a lot of different people online about, they talk about how a band should perform and what they should do. And like everyone says, anyone can perform songs on stage, but when you're having a good time, what happens? The audience has a good time. When it looks like you're enjoying yourself, and you are enjoying yourself, they will enjoy themselves as well. It's really, it's a very important thing when that happens. Is that it makes for a great show, and it makes for a great a career, because myself, I worked many years in an industry. And I only started playing music at 50. and joining bands. When people ask me what I do, I say I'm a musician, and they say, well, it pays the bills. I go, well, you ask me how I make my money or what is my passion,
Right.
and my passion is music. My passion has always been music, and I find when your passion is that, it really works very well. Do any of you play in other bands as well?
I play drums in a local punk band called Overeyes. Because I've been playing. I started off as a drummer since I was 10 years old. I've been drumming, and so I drummed all throughout high school. That's where I met John for the first time. We went to the same high school, and John was a drummer, and we would play shows together. And so we met through our high school bands, and then when I got into I think I started in CJEP, I wanted to play guitar. There was always a guitar left at my house from band practice. So, I've always started off drumming, and I still drum to this day. And that's one of my big passions too. I love the drums as much as I love guitar and singing. So, but I play in another project. You too? You drum a lot.
I drum a lot. I play in a band called The Suspects. It's a local cover band. We play the bars around town, and it's a good time. We play a lot of rock and roll.
The guitarist from the band The Suspects is one of my close friends, so I help him. He's in Saturn Ribbons. I help him with a lot. I do a lot of, I guess, I'll sound fancy and say session work, but it's really just helping friends out. And you need a drummer, or you need a guitarist, you need a bassist, whatever. I'll jump in. You need someone to record. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
I don't have any other projects. I'm here. I'm 100%
You are
Dedicated to
100%
Summerled.
invested in Summerled,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's great. You know what? Like I always say, when you love projects and you love working together with a group of people, it makes the world of difference. Once again, you see that, you watch it, you see the videos, you see everything. Everything encompasses itself really well. Now, when it comes to live gigs, do you have anything coming up, or?
We do. We have a show May 8th at Turbo House.
Excellent.
So that's coming in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So we're really stoked playing with the band.
Slow Drain.
Local band, really cool.
Civilian.
Yeah. So those guys are rad.
Yeah,
So,
they're really good.
Yeah, those guys are really good. So we're really excited.
I'm excited to see them. I haven't seen either of them
Yeah.
live
Yeah,
yet,
yeah.
so-
And we're opening first, so we get to really just watch the
That's
enjoy the
right.
show. So
Exactly. Get it over with.
Actually, I wouldn't say get it over with. I would say more or less you set the tone
Exactly.
for the
Exactly.
evening. What you're
I
going
like
to do
that.
is you're going to get everybody. It's like when a comedian walks out, they always need that person to get everybody going.
Yeah.
And I always say that's the most important person, because that's the one that gets the tone set and the mood set for the night. And when everybody already is all hyped up and ready to jump and moving around, the main bands walk out there and they go, hey, this is great. And that's usually why people will pick an opening act that will get people going.
Yeah.
Because you don't want a sleeper. You get a sleeper in there, you got to start everybody going. I'll tell you what, it's starting from scratch, and that's always a challenge. You don't want to have that. And I'm sure that you were chosen for that reason, to get everybody going. Especially, like I said, listening to the music, people are going to be up and dancing. And that's the best part about it. That makes the big difference about that. Now, you mentioned it's the pop, it's the punk and things like that, and you said you're doing more into the pop side. Do you have any, 1999 just came out. Are there other songs now which you're working on, and other stuff that you're working on?
Yeah, we have another song done called Complicated. So that's coming out. Teaser. I'll be coming out.
Spoiler.
That's the Avril Lavigne.
It's the April. Yeah. And it's
Pat
that-
sings really high for that.
Oh, I wish we were that good. No, but no, and that's a song we recorded last year, and so we're finally we'll put that out very soon, I think. And that one's also pretty fun. That one's fun.
It's a bit more punk.
Yeah, it's a bit more in the pop punk. It's a bit in that pocket. So we'll see what people think about that one. But and then we're always we're going to start writing and thinking. We're always writing and thinking of ideas. We jam a lot together when we're at rehearsal and stuff. So
We've got a lot of like little bits of ideas that need
Yeah.
to be hammered out.
I have a riff, for example, I wrote 4 years ago. This is like 10 seconds long.
Now, here's the other question. When it comes to what kind of equipment you use to play, because pop and punk is different. As you mentioned, you had to cut off the 7th string. You had to get rid of the Seymour Duncans. Go a little thinner on sound. I know. I feel you. But what are you using now for equipment while you're playing, when you play?
Oh, I get to flex on this one. Yeah. I just made my own bass with a good friend of mine, Nick, my godson. He's a super amazing guy. We have a wood shop at work, so I made my own bass because I didn't have a 4-string bass, and I've been playing a 6-string, which is cool. I love it, but it didn't really fit the vibe of the band that we were going for, that I wanted to have on stage. So I wanted something I could throw around a bit more. So that, and I'm running it into a Fractal FM3, which is basically like a small Axe Effects pedal board, because I couldn't afford the FM9.
No, what happens is that you have the tone, the exact tone that you're looking for. And one day when that tone changes, then you look for something different. But right now, you got it right in the pocket.
That's 100. I don't spend hours fiddling with it just to go back to that same tone. No.
You don't want to see my pedal board.
Oh, yeah.
You think that I was actually doing this massive dance going on every single time I play. It's I've actually, thank goodness, I actually put one of the a full scale, the automatic single buttons on that. Nice. Just because.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because what was happening is that at one point in time, I almost slipped like 3 times just trying to press a pedal.
Yeah. I have a much more minimalist, I guess you could say, rig. I run, I use a Telecaster. So I have a Telecaster, and then I run it through just an OCD overdrive pedal. I use a compressor first, and then just an overdrive. I do have a blues driver that I use. It's been on the fritz, but that's for a more clean, like a cleaner sound.
Yeah.
But I'm often just always sort of in a little bit of distortion with my overdrive.
It's punk. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah. And Jesse is more.
Oh,
interesting.
If are we skipping the drums?
Yeah. Oh no, we can go.
We'll get there.
Yeah, cool. I run similar to Pat. I have just a little gain pedal, going through at the beginning, and I have my blues driver as well, which is a great little pedal. I love that guy. I rely a little bit with the Digitech Whammy because we have a lot of these like harmonizing guitars. So I'm very often dancing around with this guy, turning it on and off. Totally get it. And other than that, I like to keep it simple. So for me, it's just about getting that crunch, and it's just about, at least on stage, knowing, okay, like just press this. And I love my chorus too. So I have a nice little 90s Boss chorus.
Yeah.
I've had that guy for at least 20 years now. It's the first pedal I ever bought. And that's it. And I'm also running into a Stratocaster as well. So,
drums now. I don't know. Generally, it shows you just end up playing whatever's backline, right? but my drum kit is a Yamaha Rock Tour with a 14x6 aluminum snare, a 12-inch rack tom, and 2 floor toms, a 14-inch and a 16-inch floor tom, with a 22-inch kick drum. I like Sabian cymbals. I've been a Sabian guy since I was a teenager. I just stuck with Sabian. I like their sound, and I just stuck with it.
There's a perfect ad going on right now. Yeah. Sabian cymbals. The use for John Erskine. It's his choice for cymbals.
Yeah, maybe they'll hear this and they'll send me something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hashtag them actually.
Yeah, but then I'm also using a Roland SPD SX to run some extra sounds and our click and our backing tracks, because we have a few extra sounds that aren't produced by guitars. We have some synthesizers and some extra beeps and bops. So yeah.
An Olivia Newton-John sample.
Oh yeah, that one.
What, physical? But as long as you're not using, you're the one I want. Go back to Grease days.
It is a Grease sample.
There we go.
Right.
It's funny you mentioned because the simplicity, because when you look at a band like Nirvana, when you looked what Kurt was using, he was using a Mustang going into he was using a DS1 and a chorus pedal. He was using that DS1, which most people won't even use anymore, and yet this guy, what he was getting out of sounds, for Smells Like Teen Spirit and all of that, and get that chorus sound, it's what punk's about. Punk is not about 4,000 pedals on the stage. It's about simplicity, jumping around, having a good time, and I think that's where the key to everything is. I find that when you go to see a show that has punk, alternative, whatever it might be, you expect to get up and dance. You want to. Now, it might be a bit of slamming, depending on how heavy you go. I actually went to see the Ramones many years ago.
Wow.
At the time it was Metropolis. And that was an incredible show. And I think I probably lost 10 pounds of water just from being in the mosh pit, you know.
That was me at Pup in December.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That was
so
crazy.
like I said, it really is impressive. Anybody have any final words that you'd like to throw out there?
Oh,
I'll go.
go for it. Tell us what you.
So there's just a lot of the conversations we're having. It kind of reminds me of, and I'm gonna lose all my nerd cred here. The newest Superman movie has a quote something along the lines of, you know, what's more punk than just being a good person, and the message there being that we've gotten so bogged down with complicated and everything's got to be deep and moody and you can't just have a good time anymore. And to me, that's kind of what this band represents is you know, like, yeah, not that we'll never get deep or make an emotional song, but at the end of the day, there's nothing more punk rock than, like you said, just getting up, dancing, making something that's fun that people want to move to, whether it be poppier or punkier, or it doesn't matter. You need to have fun doing it. And maybe it's my metal background, but coming from someone who, you know, my guitar's up to my neck and I'm staring at it 24/7 because you know, we just have to play all the notes right and I can't move. To me, this is what it really means to make music, and to be punk is to just have fun, move around, throw yourself around, leave the venue sweating, not because I was stressed, but because I just enjoyed every second of it.
I totally agree with that. A final word for me would be we want everyone to kind of join the Summerled family in that way. Just come have a good time, you know. Even if you had a bad day, come see a Summerled show, you know. Come see the other bands opening. You're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good night. And that's kind of like the most important thing for us, I think, at the end of the day.
That's great. Yeah, no, I mean, inside the band, just being like, it's like I've always said it's like a privilege to make music because it requires so much work from these guys here, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do without all the effort that everyone's putting in constantly, and it shows. And we're really lucky to have be able to play music with your friends and sort of just have fun while doing it. So that's sort of our goal forever. Hopefully, it's always fun.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's...
Have fun. Go stream our song, 1999. It's out now. And come see our show on May 8th at Turbo House.
One thing I have to mention, you know, and I appreciate you guys' time and everything on this. I look at CBGB's. CBGB's was known originally for the punk. That's where it began, you know. And when you think about it, CBGB was country, bluegrass, and blues. That was actually the name of the club itself. And it definitely was not what was being played there. And all these bands started off there. Everyone started off there. And you think about it, it's back in the 70s and everything. And we are in 2026 right now. It's still strong. It's still moving. It's definitely with these guys. You know, with Summerled, you guys got to go out there, listen to the music. It's streaming on all platforms. It's easy to find. Go out there, look for it, and look forward to seeing you guys live. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.